Morning messages, a daily paint gazing session. Today is November 27th. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good day so far. So if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Linda Fabry. I'm an intuitive artist and I use art to connect to my divine source and bring forward messages. I do private readings, I make oracle cards, things like that. But the calendar, this is a desktop calendar that I paint on. I've been taking some time off this month, as you can see the blank spots. But what we do is I have people pick colors and then I put them down. Here's the last one we did. I put them down on the paper. I squish them around and then I paint whatever I kind of develop the images that I see in it. And when the image is done, then I go in and analyze it and kind of interpret it for a message for the day ahead. And then I pull some oracle cards and things like that too to go along with it. Today might be a scribble day, so this is an example of that too. So yeah, I might just do, well, let me think on that for a minute. So I'm just getting my camera and stuff set up. If you're watching the replay, you could probably skip ahead a little bit. I'm gonna just kind of get some things set up while people join at a weird time today. So I tried to, I'm trying to figure out a new schedule. So the time might fluctuate by a couple hours each day, but I think I will probably, right now it's 9 o'clock Central. I'll probably be on here sometime between 7 and 9. I think this is probably the latest that I will be, but I try to come on most days. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is just pick a few colors and get going. If you are watching live and you want to pick a color, you can pick a number between 1 and 40. So all of the paints have numbers on them like this. And that's how we pick the colors. So it's kind of random. So if you've ever wondered how the colors are picked, that's how. And I have like a whole box of these. So when you get a reading, that's just how we communicate, because it's on Zoom. Makes it a lot easier. Plus then it gives some more information too. I can kind of call on the numerology of things to give me some more insights if I need them. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, say hi. Let me know you're here. If you want to pick a color, you can pick a number between 1 and they go from 1 to 40. So it's kind of hard to pick your favorite color, but you might end up with it, which is pretty fun. There we go. So I might start us off with this 15, since I already have that. So yeah, if you want to pick a number, they go from 1 to 40. This is like the same pink as that little mouse's nose. That. So the intention of the reading each day is just to, what do we need to know for the day ahead? So it'll give us some insights just into the kind of the trajectory of the energies today. Also, when I'm done, I pull oracle cards, and then anybody who's watching live, I'll pull a card for you. Let's see what other colors. I want to come and play with this pink. Throw this one in there. I'm just going to pick them. If you want to pick a color, you can pick a number between 1 and 40. Otherwise, I'll just fill this up here. Let's put this one in there too. And see if anything else wants to come and play. Darker color like that. There. Those are our colors today. If you still want to pick a color, you can. If you're watching live and you want to add one in, I can put them in until I put the plastic on. Okay, here we go. That pink really wanted to be seen. That's fun. All right. Ooh, a lot of paint today. Happy Wednesday, Mary. Does the lighting seem dark to you? Seems like it just looks kind of dark. Let me see if I can bump it up a little bit after I do this. It's interesting how the center has that bright blue. I really like that. And setting a mood. It's interesting too because I was thinking, oh, it's like dark on the sides and then bright in the center. Oh, just going with the painting, isn't it? All right. So here's our background. So feel free to let me know what you see. I'm going to get a photo of it and get this posted so everyone can play along. I like to take a before picture and put it out on my various platforms so everybody can say what they see in it. You see an elephant? Nice. I kind of see this owl thing up here or something. All right, bear with me while I do that. It takes me a minute. There's something catching my eye here, this like shape. It kind of looks like a person maybe, or sure. But it also has this feeling of like walking through or like coming out of a forest where maybe there's like tall trees and then there's blue sky. Let's see. Is this the elephant here with like a trunk? I was just looking again. I'm like, oh, I like elephants. Give me 1 second. A little bit of lighting. Oh, facing forward. Oh, like the whole thing. Nice. Mm. And more I look at this, I'm seeing like a face and a long neck with dark hair here. All right, just getting this posted quick. There we go. Like the center is that I can see how that like how elephants come. They have those like the wrinkly part of their trunk. I love that. I think I see that too. Is this the little horse? There's like the horse's head right here and maybe a leg and a person on it. That's cute. All right, let me come back here. There we go. I like that little horse. Let me see where this goes. All right, so just a reminder, today's the intention is to just get a message for our day. I'm gonna start up here in the whoops. Up here in this corner. Whoops. Mm. It's funny what happens when I take a couple days off and then I'm all discombobulated. All right. Let's do dark blue. A little bit of an eyebrow there. There we go. Just like magic. I was I was gonna do owl, now it's looking like a person. It's got like hair flowing down. Black. And I don't know if she's got like her arm raised, maybe. Maybe by is she in the waterfall or something? I don't know. Let's see. What the heck is this person doing? Transformed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we are too, Marie. This transformation is intense. That's why I've taken a lot of time off this month. And it's one of those times where I feel like one day I think I know which direction I'm headed, and then the next it's totally different. It feels like it's like every once in a while, I think that's just the nature of it. Like it starts to level out, and I'm like, oh, okay, and now I have some clarity. And then a little while later, I'm like, oh, it's not what I thought. And then, yeah, it's kind of a crazy, crazy time. But she's having fun with hers. Oh, for sure. Well, even today, I definitely believe in honoring my rest. I went through a decade of chronic health issues, and that's definitely what I learned was to honor my physical needs. Take the time before it takes me. You know, I'm just gonna do this hair all the way down here. Let your hair down. So I think, okay, I gotta figure out her body is. We'll do a neck, collarbone kind of thing. There. Her waist is here. I kind of feel like maybe her leg is coming up like this. That's her knee. Yeah, swirly energy. I think that's very fair. The energy is swirling in different directions. Absolutely. When I was a kid, I loved drawing toes. Like making little circle toes. Yeah, I think she's got a hand up here. Maybe that's a thumb. All right. Try to be more pink in her face. I don't know. Took out some of the color. Let's see what happens with these like waterfalls. I like that it's swirling around right in here by her hair, which is kind of fun. Ooh. For some reason, when I try to zoom in with that camera, it gets very excited and jumps. Like waterfalls for a symbol of, they can sometimes symbolize like difficulty, like, fall from grace, or that kind of thing. But they also represent the like source energy, source of life, water flowing in. So that's what these challenging times can do. They can provide us with both, challenge and, catching her toes. Put a little spiral here. Spirals tend to represent like growth and creative energies, which makes sense with the water too. I'm still seeing this horse and rider over here. Anybody else? I'm gonna open her hand up a little. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's a fist. Stop. Oh, I'm just rereading. I don't know if you're still here, Marie, but I'm just rereading what you said about enjoy the ride. I didn't catch that part. You said that our energy swirling in different directions. And then you said all I can do is enjoy the ride. And then now we're looking at a horse and rider. That's interesting. Green. This one. I don't know if they're going to have that much of detail. I haven't. Let's see. I'll leave it at that. Oh, there is an arm up. Is this where you're seeing the arm? I didn't see it at first. Let's see what I can do. So it's interesting because I want to make the, I don't know if you can still see the hand. It looks like a fist, and I want to kind of open it up. So I feel like there's some anger to acknowledge, but I like the idea of waving too, of like, hey, hi, giant thing that could like crush me in an instant. let's just say hello. Let's open that hand up to receive. Fun. I actually kind of feel like there's something here, like an offering, or there's something. Morning, Noel. How you doing? There's some water coming through here too. Victorious and brave. I like those words. Yeah, that feels right. I'm doing great. Thank you. All right, I'll just finish up. I'll put one little detail on this, and then we'll do the reading. Pearl. Ta-da. Okay. Let me finish up my video real quick, and then I'll be done. All right. I'm going to move the camera, just giving you a heads up. Ooh. Okay, so there's the overview of the whole thing. My camera's a little wobbly. And I'll bring it a little closer. So we started over here. We've got kind of this giant lady letting her hair down, and dipping her toes in the waterfalls. She looks quite happy. A big smile. She's smiling with her eyes. And I feel like this one over here is like, I found it. And she's like, woohoo. Like they were working together. At first, it was what was playing out in my mind as I was painting was like, oh no, is she going to step on him? She's going to squish him or something. So I feel like, so what I like to do, and this is how I do readings when I do private readings, but you can interpret yours however you want. So there's like no wrong, right or wrong, whatever. Or it's only right. You choose for yourself. Excuse me. So I like to look at the left side as representing the internal experience. So that would be like kind of our non-linear experience, our thoughts, our emotions, what's going on internally. And then this would be the external. This is how we engage with our environment and the world and socially. And so this would represent more linear timeline things and like our work and our relationships and things like that. The external world and the internal. So we started over here with the external because I feel like a lot of us are really focused on how we're engaging, what our place is. There's a lot of that going on. I noticed in readings, a lot of people are trying to figure out like, what the heck am I doing here? Why did I, why am I incarnate? Like what, let's get the show on the road kind of thing. There's a bigness. I think that I didn't know that she was going to be a giant when I started painting her, but then in contrast, it feels very big. She feels very big. This very like feminine symbol feels like our creativity. It's also got this deep red, feels very visceral, feels very connected to our physicality, our physical body. And then also this like leg feels like very much like embodiment. So whatever it is that's happening externally feels big, feels very big. And it feels like creating something. We're creating something. There's some vulnerability because she's got like this there's a bareness, so it feels very vulnerable. There was a clenched fist to start, so we might feel a little bit like we want to kind of coil in. But then as we moved internally, we were able to like open and add some openness to that open palm. And so they can also almost play catch now from the internal, the treasures that are internal, though it might feel small, it has some mobility because there's like a horse here. It's funny because I just heard like, oh, you can lead a horse to water, and that's where it definitely has been led. There's a little bit of like a pull back here with this energy, but I feel like there's a reaching. She's dipping her toe in. I feel like it's just a little bit of like, okay, it's not a total dive in. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. There's some of that energy of like, yeah, so let your hair down, dip your toe in, like give it a little bit. You could find like the gem. There's a gem in that for you. There's a lot of growth happening right now, and it feels overwhelming with emotion because there's a ton of like water energy there. Let me pull a card around it. So this is just the energy of today, or whenever you're watching this. Let me pull a card. So these are my oracle cards that I make, and it's a combination of several decks. There's the Sacred Journey Open Edition, the For the Love of Trees deck, the mandala series, and then the limited edition Sacred Journey. The Sacred Journey are created, well, they're all created in this similar process, but the Sacred Journey comes from people's private readings. So if you get a private reading, you can opt to include your image in upcoming decks. And that's what I'm pulling from here. So we're just gonna get another a card to kind of elaborate on the message of today. Access your alchemy. So that's so interesting, is look at this kind of like pouring down. It's very similar. This happens all the time. It's very similar colors, but very similar palette. There's that elephant, Marie. The elephant that you noticed showed up in the card. That's wonderful. And look at how the eye of the elephant is very similar to her eyes, where it's kind of like smiling. I think of that as like smiling eyes. I love it. Elephants, I love elephants for strength and moving through obstacles, but also symbolic of like connection and community and family. There's some these green spirals here and here. We've got, more symbols of transformation. All right, so it's saying access your alchemy, transform yourself through personal expression. Fear becomes strength as it passes through the fire. So as we move forward, that's what this, as we face our fears and be brave and move forward, that becomes a strength. Have patience with the process. Yeah, it is kind of one of those things where it's been like so wonky back and forth. So have patience with it and find stability in the change. I think that's like this idea that like being comfortable with discomfort, or it's kind of an oxymoron or whatever, but yeah, find stability in change, knowing that, well, things are always changing, so I can know that at least that's a constant. Yours is a long line of alchemists, and you'll inspire many more. You are worthy of the crown. So it feels too like what we're working on in our individual transformation journeys isn't just for us, it's also for the collective. It's also something that, what yours is a long line of alchemists. So to know that we have a birthright of creating things in our lives, changing things in our lives. Because we're just kind of, that's our nature, I guess is what I want to kind of boil it down to. And you'll inspire many more. So those that come think, it's inviting us to think about those who come after us and what we do in big and small ways. And I think that's interesting, because the big and the small ways that we show up today, how we participate in our change and our alchemy and what we're becoming. Showing up with the ingredients. I love this too. I just noticed I have a couple of, most of the paints in my thing are like a matte finish. This one happens to be kind of satiny. I don't know if it's gonna let me show how it's showing up. It's like reflective. You can kind of see it on that top part of the waterfall, but it's shiny. I can't help that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so today, show up, dip your toe in, let your hair down, access your alchemy. You are a powerful creator, and show up in all the big and little ways. You deserve the good stuff coming. All right. If you would like a card just for yourself, let me know. I'm happy to pull a few cards for a go. And just a reminder, if anybody wants a private reading, you have a paint gazing session is an hour of intuitive guidance, just the same way that I created this, but on a bigger scale. And then you get an original painting that you get to hold on to. I'm seeing this one here. I just wanted to point this out. I feel like what was happening earlier this month is like we're more, it was kind of like coming through at that time, and that now we're kind of like embodying it. This one was kind of like coming through this early see if I can zoom in on it. See her, that energy feels very similar. She was kind of bringing, she was like coming through the dark night and walking into the dawn. And now we have her, she's kind of playful and like, all right, now I'm ready to just like jump in, dip my toe in at least. Oh, you're welcome, Marie. All right, Megan, general card. Yeah, and so you can ask any question you want, or you can just request general. I don't have any restrictions to questions. If I'm not comfortable answering, I just will tell you that. All right, general. It's buffering. Let me see. Wait for it for a second here. See what happens. Okay. I just was checking to make sure. I didn't want to do your card. I'm going to give it one more shuffle. All right, Megan. This one's for you. Shine on. Your light, passion, and wisdom cannot be contained. The shadows of the past are an illusion, and laboring to cut them away only holds you there. So simply be here now. I'm hoping that this is gonna let you see the details of this. I want to show you this painting because the and I want to point out the red and the blue. It's like, so there's like a red tree here and there's a blue tree here. It's very much like the heart where, you know, the oxygenated blood and the others. And like it's the cycle. So this is representing the heart. It's also kind of got that Vesica Pisces and then the sacred geometry here. It's really like an invitation to be centered on your heart space, be here, be embodied, be where you are. I think I used to really suffer with the derealization, and when that would happen, what would help was to center in on my heart space, put my hands on my chest and feel my heartbeat and know that I'm here now. And so that's what it's reminding me to kind of just share with you. So the past is, it's just shadows. It's just shadows. And it's totally fine to address things and if it serves you. But for the most part, when we start like trying to cut that stuff away, there's nothing to cut because it's like just shadow and illusion, you know. So in some ways, when we spend a lot of time in the past, it just kind of holds us in the past. So be here now, be in your heart space, show up, dip your toe in, you know, trust that you are deserving and worthy of the beautiful changes that are on the way too. All right, Noel, this one's for you. General card for the day for Noel. You're very welcome. All right, look at that. Metamorphosis. Couldn't be more clear about change, right? A new you is emerging. Shake loose the old beliefs that you were wrapped up in. Release them with gratitude. They weren't wrong. You just don't need them anymore. This is a similar message. It's like the stuff that, you know, who you were a moment ago needed to be in that moment, but it's not who you are now and who you are becoming. So you can kind of just release it, and you don't have to go like, oh, I wish I wasn't like that, or I wish that didn't happen, or no, you're just like, that wasn't wrong. It's just not what you need moving forward. So that's something to keep in mind as you kind of just let go of the old cocoon that you were wrapped up in, so that you can emerge and really fly. This is going along. There's just so much change in the air for everybody. Like things are really finally blooming, and we're breaking through the soil of that we've been like planted in for such a long time. So yeah, let yourself release some of that old stuff. last call for anybody who wants a card. I'm going to pull one just for general for anybody. I know sometimes people like to watch but aren't comfortable asking for one, so this is for you if you want it. Also, if anybody has a little extra clarity for their own, that's what this is for, a little extra. Gently down the streams. Be gentle in this process, you know. Beyond your bridges, built or burnt, the light of a new day beckons again with the change. There is just so much. But look at this love on the horizon, right? It's time to leave the shoreline. Set your vessel on its course. Go with the flow to discover your oars and row your own boat. So it is time to kind of unhook from other people's sails, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to attach your boat to somebody else's sail. It's really time to like let your hair down, dip your toe in. Like it's our time to be us, and but be gentle with it. Don't force it. Don't hold yourself to anything. Just go with your own flow as you're doing it. Gently, gently, merrily, merrily, merrily. I hope that's helpful. I hope that you access your alchemy today and really feel like how magical you are and find the gems. Let your hair down, play in the waters in the waters as they change. Hey Tessa, want a card before I go? I do. All right, let me just pull this back a little bit. So this one's for Tessa, general card. Ooh, I was just looking at this painting yesterday. Illuminate the illusion. Spread your wings, open your heart, embrace the wisdom of your disowned parts. Discover your truth and divinity, not in the light, but in wholeness. So it's interesting because this little person, so today I'll give you a quick recap. We had like this giant, and she showed up first, and she's very happy and smiling, but she had a fist, so she like was closed fist, and then she dipped her toe in the waterfall. There's a vulnerability here, so this is all external. She's letting her hair down, dipping her toe. There's so much change going on, and then this little tiny person on a horse comes over. They're probably no, like average size, but she's a giant. So, and I thought, oh my gosh, is she gonna squish him? Because this felt very overwhelming. But then they actually started waving to each other. Her hand opened up, and then this wave became a little pearl, a little like offering from our internal self to our external, like overwhelmed self. So there's a soothing there. It feels like this treasure here can be related to the disowned parts. And because it's a circle too, that's that wholeness. So the gift that the internal self and in its movement and exploration overwhelmed, or like things are just so big, that change is so big, we feel vulnerable, is this you know, circles tend to represent wholeness. So it's giving the gift of feeling whole, not necessarily light, but like bringing everything together and honoring our shadow and our light at the same time to feel whole. And it's interesting because I really thought this was going to be an owl. So that's fun that this card came up for you. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the card of shadow work. Oh, you're so welcome, Marie. I'm so glad you were here. I'm glad you're all here. I'm so excited to share. I'm going to be sharing some new stuff. I'm working on my website, and I'm thinking about bringing back kind of like gallery readings where you can attend, and I will do a few mini readings live, like through Zoom. So people can attend, and then I'll just do a few people's readings. I'll pick a few people, kind of like I see a lot of mediums doing that. And so I'm going to be doing that, and I may bring art support groups back too, or actually it's going to be more of a paint gazing journaling group. So good stuff on the way. I'm really excited. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. If you're not on my email list, get on it so that you can hear about it. And access your alchemy today. At least dip your toe in, but definitely let your hair down. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me this morning. It was really nice to connect. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.